imagine walking alone through the dimly lit streets of Victorian London. The gas lamps flicker, casting long, distorted shadows against the cobblestones. The air is thick with mist, muffling the sounds of the city. Suddenly, a figure emerges from the darkness, a tall, slender man clad in a long black cloak. His eyes glow like burning embers. He grins, revealing sharp, metallic teeth. And then, with an impossible leap, he vanishes into the night. A demon? A ghost? A criminal mastermind? Or something else entirely? For decades, this phantom terrorized the people of England, striking fear into their hearts with his supernatural agility, monstrous appearance, and seemingly inhuman abilities. This is the legend of Spring-Heeled Jack. London, 1837. A city on edge. People whisper of a devil prowling the streets, attacking the innocent, defying the laws of nature. The first reports come from a young servant named Mary Stevens, who claims that, while walking to work in Barnes Common, she was suddenly grabbed by a monstrous figure. Long, cold fingers clawed at her skin, and a fiery-eyed creature tore at her clothes before disappearing into the shadows. The next night, in a different part of London, a man leaps in front of a carriage, sending the horses into a frenzy. Witnesses describe him as impossibly fast, inhuman. The legend of Spring-Heeled Jack is born. But was this a man? Or something beyond human? Over the next few months, stories of the mysterious attacker explode. Newspapers publish sensational accounts. Eyewitnesses claim he breathes blue fire, has iron-clad talons, and wears an oilskin suit that makes him impervious to harm. Some even insist his feet are fitted with powerful springs, allowing him to leap over walls and rooftops. The most infamous case, the attack on Lucy Scales and Jane Alsop in 1838. Alsop, lured outside by a figure claiming to be a police officer, is met with a horror unlike anything she'd seen. A man, cloaked in darkness, spits fire at her before slashing her dress with claws of steel. Lucy Scales, walking with her sister, is similarly assaulted, her attacker's eyes glowing through the mist before he disappears with a monstrous leap. Panic grips London. The police launch an investigation, but every lead vanishes into thin air. The city is left wondering, is this a hoax? A deranged aristocrat playing an elaborate prank? Or is something more sinister at work? Many have compared the fear surrounding Spring-Heeled Jack to that of Jack the Ripper, but their motives and methods were starkly different. Where Jack the Ripper was a brutal murderer and knowledgeable in anatomy, Spring-Heeled Jack was more of a spectral terror, attacking, tormenting, but never killing. If anything, Spring-Heeled Jack was more of a legend in the making, an eerie phantom that seemed to defy reality rather than a flesh-and-blood killer lurking in the shadows. There's something about fear that makes it spread like wildfire. Spring-Heeled Jack becomes more than just a monster. He becomes a cultural phenomenon. Penny dreadfuls depict him as a demon, a ghost, a villainous mastermind. Some say he's an aristocrat gone mad. Others whisper he's a creature summoned from hell itself. But here's where things get interesting. What if Spring-Heeled Jack wasn't just a random terror? What if he was a tool for control? During this time, England is rife with social unrest. The poor struggle, crime is rampant, and the ruling class needs a distraction. Some historians argue that Spring-Heeled Jack was a manufactured boogeyman, a legend weaponized to keep the public fearful, to keep them obedient. Fear makes people easy to manipulate, and nothing spreads fear like a supernatural terror leaping through the night. But what if the legend wasn't just hysteria? The descriptions of Spring-Heeled Jack remained eerily consistent across decades. Could he have been a real person, perhaps a series of copycats inspired by the legend? Some believe a deranged nobleman named Henry de la Poer Beresford, the Marquis of Waterford, was the original culprit, a man known for his violent pranks and reckless behavior. But then, there are the accounts that defy logic. Witnesses claim he moved too fast, leapt too high, disappeared too suddenly. Some reports describe a strange mechanical hissing before his jumps. Could Spring-Heeled Jack have been an early experiment in technology? A prototype for mechanical exoskeletons long before their time? The sightings don't stop with Victorian London. Throughout the 19th and early 20th centuries, reports continue. In Liverpool, in 1904, he is seen leaping over rooftops before vanishing into the night. Even in the 1930s, strange figures are spotted with impossible agility, evading capture like ghosts. And then he disappears. Or does he? Even today, urban legends persist of shadowy figures leaping through alleyways in impossible ways. Is it just a story that refuses to die? Or is something, or someone, still out there? So, what do we make of Spring-Heeled Jack? A ghost story fueled by fear? A prank taken too far? A secret experiment in mechanical augmentation? Or something that exists outside of what we understand? An entity not bound by our laws of reality? Some say that legends are born from truth, that every myth hides a fragment of something real. So maybe, just maybe, the next time you're walking alone at night and you hear the faint metallic tap of boots on cobblestones behind you, you should look up. Until next time, keep questioning, keep searching beyond the structure of what you know.